Today, I'm going to share with you how one of our clients was down 17% year over year, and in 6 months, while working with us here at Dineline, we were able to get them to break even. My name is Vince, and I'm the Director of Client Services here at Dineline. There are 2 reasons I'm sharing this video with you. Number 1, over the last few years, we've spent well over $6 million in advertising for restaurants. And number 2, if you follow the playbook I'm about to share with you, you will put yourself in a position to create profit fast. So let's go ahead and jump into this. From a 17% decline to breaking even in just 6 months, here is the playbook. So to give context about this, I wanted to take a screenshot of some of our revenue reporting for this particular client. So the way that this kind of chart works is it's based off of their period. So this was from the start of the year up until August. Now that's obviously 8 months of work, but what I really want to talk to you about is the growth rate that you see here. So this client was trending bad, especially even in 2023. And you can kind of see here that in 2024, things continued to spiral down. Once when it was kind of that first period of January, I believe our client was like, we need to figure out a solution here. And that's ultimately when they found us. So when we took this client on, this was definitely going to be an uphill battle, right? Down 17%, needing to get to break even at a minimum, but really like put yourself in a position to profit, because this is a concept that has been around for some time. They've had many, many good years, but for whatever reason that wasn't really figured out yet, this client was losing money, right? They were losing money consistently, and the yearly trend was not pretty. So, from an expectations perspective, we went into this agreement knowing that, hey, this is going to be an uphill battle. There's going to be certain things that we have to do. So for this video, I really want to just kind of walk you through some steps that we took and how we ultimately got to this place. And I hope that you can benefit from this and really understand how paid advertising can get you out of holes like this and ultimately turn your business around. But there's a lot of factors that have to take place in order for that to happen. So step 1 is really understanding your client's assets and target market. So you can see here, the first thing that we do with any client that we bring on is we need to understand the restaurant. What's your purpose? What's your tone? Who do you think your target audience is? What's your focus that we need to be focusing on? And more importantly, if we're going to be spending advertising dollars marketing your business to people in your area, we need to know what type of assets that you have. So you can see here, this is a screenshot of their Instagram feed. And this particular client had amazing assets. They had really good photography. They had a lot of good user-generated content. They posted pretty consistently on their Instagram with Reels. And that is always something that we have noticed working with restaurants for a long time that usually misses the mark. And having good content is extremely important to your brand. We live in a digital age now where people are going to look at your Instagram. They're going to look at your Facebook. They're going to look at the photos on Yelp. You want to make sure that your content is good. It's appealing. It's appetizing. Now, does that mean you need to go out and hire a 10K video service to do your content and take photos for you? Absolutely not. We live in a world where this iPhone has a very strong camera. And just you spending the time with your chefs, taking pictures of your food, taking pictures of them making the food, going to your restaurant on a busy Saturday, asking people if you can shoot pictures and take videos of them having a good time, that is more than enough. And quite honestly, sometimes even a lot better than static images done by a professional photographer. So there's really no excuse in today's day and age to not have good assets. But for us, we need to understand what we're working with, who you are ultimately trying to bring into the restaurant. And that's the first most important step. Now, if we feel with our research internally that the target market is off, or we feel that the assets aren't up to par, like we're going to help you build out better assets. We're going to help you better define who that target market is. That's what we do here. But you having that knowledge in your head and really focusing on those things first is extremely important. Secondly, is to, and I'm going to keep moving myself around this video, but is to really focus on pillars. So there's ultimately 4 pillars that we can focus on from an ad spend perspective that's going to generate you more revenue. That's going to be in-store sales. It's going to be online orders. It's going to be reservations, and it's going to be catering or private events. Okay, so when we bring on a client, we're going to look at your revenue and we're going to look deep into each one of these pillars. Which pillars have you had success with? Which pillars have you not had so much success with? Which pillars do you want to see more success with? And that's really important to note, because when it comes to making an immediate impact with advertising for restaurants, you really want to focus on a pillar that you have had some type of success with, or that you have shown that you have a path to create success. We get clients that come in and say, hey, we really want you to generate us more reservations. We look at their business. Turns out 90% of their current customers are not through reservations. So you're asking us to focus on something that really hasn't been proven out to be successful. So again, if you want that immediate impact and you want to generate revenue and get yourself from 17% to break even fast, we have to focus on something that your restaurant is built to perform at, that you've shown past results with. That doesn't mean that we'll not focus on these other pillars. Of course, we want to help you get more catering. Maybe you've never done catering and that's something that you think is a huge opportunity for your business. Like, we're going to help you there. But those types of things take a lot more time than really saying, hey, 60% of our guests right now do reservations. Let's get more of those. That's something that we can make an immediate impact with. Next is really building a launch strategy. So not only understanding who your target demographic is, not only understanding who your assets are, but putting together a campaign centered around these pillars that make a lot of sense. So again, breaking down what are the types of campaigns that we're going to be running to achieve these goals. What are the pillars that we're going to be focusing on? What are the call to actions? How can we track this best? Writing really good ad copy. These are all things that we do for you in support. And we put it together in a preview doc so you can see what this is going to look like. You can see the copy, you can see the creatives, and most importantly, have KPIs centered around each one of these so that when we do start spending that ad money, you know exactly what it's going to and what the purpose is. So again, it's really understanding that process of how your dollars are being spent and ultimately how that's being tracked. So when we've understood your assets and your target market, we focused on a pillar and we built a launch strategy around those pillars, that's when we launch these campaigns and we focus on tracking results. So this is like a little snapshot of some of our reporting. We have extremely detailed reporting. It all depends client by client. But what we are really looking at is how are those dollars working for you? We have a thing that we like to refer to as vanity metrics. And there's a lot of vanity metrics here. You're going to see clicks, you're going to see impressions, you're going to see click-through rates, you're going to see cost per click. All of these are good indicators that we have strong ad performance. But realistically, at the end of the day, as a restaurant owner investing into marketing, this is good, but that isn't ultimately what's going to make you money, right? Getting tons of clicks doesn't make you money. What gets you money is butts and seats and seeing your revenue grow. That's what we want to focus on. So we look at these insights, we look at these vanity metrics, we make adjustments, and ultimately we want to put you in a position to scale these campaigns. And that was the secret sauce to getting this client from 17% to break even. Because with our advertising, we were able to make investments, run particular ads, understand the vanity metrics, make adjustments, and track the actual store visitors that were generated from our advertising. So in order to really make revenue fast with advertising for restaurants, you have to be extremely confident that the dollars that you're spending are bringing people into the restaurant. And we do that by tracking store visits. And you can see here, here's a campaign that we were running. It's just a screenshot. We spent about $2,260. We had 17,000 impressions. And this particular campaign generated 2,000 store visitors, meaning that somebody saw this ad, got up off their butt, visited the physical location at the restaurant, and ate there. So with these type of detailed analytics, we can now confidently go to this client and say, hey, for this particular campaign, basically for every dollar that you're spending, It is bringing in a customer. So now we were able to scale these campaigns confidently, get our client to spend more money, to make more money, to get to that break-even point. And these aren't equal scales, right? You can spend 20% more in your budget and get 50% the return, and then scale another 10% and get another 20% return. So the scales end up over time, the more money you spend, the more revenue you make. It's not an equal one-for-one return. So that is the secret sauce. Again, to kind of review this, is understanding your assets and target market, extremely important. We need to know what we have at your fingertips. Number two, figuring out what campaigns we want to run focused on which pillars for your business that have had some proven results to make an immediate impact. Number three, put together a launch strategy around those pillars with the assets and the ad copy that we create for you. Review the analytics that are given back to us from these campaigns, and then be able to put you in a position to scale. And that is ultimately our secret sauce here, is that you will feel confident that the money you're spending is bringing people in, and that you can scale and spend your money properly. So last but not least, I want to leave you with this, that if you are a restaurant that's in this position, please do remember, it is patience. You must learn it. These platforms and the way the world works today in advertising spits back so many analytics and so much from these algorithms, that having a team surrounded by you that understands how to take these analytics and turn them into trackable campaigns that you can scale is the secret sauce. So thanks for watching this. If you're curious or want more information on how this works or want to work with us here at Dineline, go ahead and visit dineline.co.